That's it.
Hello everyone, so I want to do a follow-up video based on my previous video that I did on Kevin Samuels, and in that video I spoke about the impact that he has on the community. And in this video I want to focus on how he treats and speaks about Black women and the fact that he is more focused on the problem than he is the solution. The claim to fame for Kevin Samuels is basically bashing women, in particular Black women, after he has heard their height, weight, attitude, living situation, age, how many degrees they have, how many kids they have, etc. And he processes that information as a dating coach by trade or image consultant that he is, and he spews out this harsh truth that everybody lives for, right? And they want these women to take accountability and understand that you're never gonna get anybody. So let's talk about these things very quickly. With Black women, there is an issue with the weight in our community, okay? 4 out of 5 Black women are overweight and obese. And Kevin Samuels is right about those statistics. I mean, he sees those numbers like I see those numbers, like we see those numbers, right? From a bigger scale in the United States, okay? 42.4% of our country is overweight and obese. In the Black community in particular, 49.6% of Black people are overweight and obese. And that goes for men and women, of course. But for Black women in particular, again, 4 out of 5 of us is overweight and obese. There is a disconnect. There is an issue. There's a definite problem. But my thing is how are we going to fix this problem within our community? And bashing Black women based on our statistics, issues, and pain is not going to help us progress as a Black community. Kevin Samuels will also speak about single mothers and how the high value man does not want a woman with children. And let me tell you something, and I'm going to make sure that I tread lightly on this topic. All those men that call into his live, that listen to his live and listen to his videos are not high value men. They are not. Because based on the economic status of the Black community, we are rising in some sense, but we're not there. So I want y'all to understand that. So there are a lot of men that are calling into that live or watching the videos for a good old laugh and to watch the circus take place. And Kevin Samuels is live and uncensored to lead the show. But when it comes to children, it seems like it's such a bad thing, right? People stigmatize single motherhood. But I don't think people understand that when a woman has a child with a man and that relationship does not work out, yes, the woman will become a single mother, but you also have the man who is a single father. And shout out to all my single mothers and my single fathers out here, because guess what? I'm rooting for you. I have much respect for you. I don't stigmatize you. I don't, understand why your life should be over because it didn't work out in the relationship. So yes, if you're a man and you have a child with a woman, it doesn't work out, you're a single father too. But my thing is, and I have a question for my men, how many of you come from single mother homes, but you bash single mothers? How many of you have single mothers in your family, but you turn around and bash single mothers? We cannot throw somebody away because they have a child. I know for me, I'm okay with dating a man that has a child. I don't have any children, but I understand the concept of boundaries. And when you put your foot down when coming into that situation, everything will work. That goes for a man too. You don't need to throw away a woman because she has a child. You set your boundaries and everything will work. Let me tell you guys real quick. According to the Pew Research Center, for single mothers, 42% are white, 28% are black. I want y'all to let that sink in. Now I'm going to move on. Kevin Samuels gives no hope to the very black women that are in the families of black men, and you don't even know it. He's bashing those women, and you rave and you cheer for all the bad things he says. And I'm going to talk about that later on. He puts his audience on a one-track mindset where he focuses on the problems of black women with no viable solution. And this is where the hustle comes into play. If I can get hundreds and thousands of people on my live and I bash black women, I can make money. I can hustle you because I'm profiting off of the pain, statistics, and struggle of my fellow black women. Because Kevin Samuels cannot run from his own community. He's in the black community. The problem is there, and what are you going to do about it? Somebody in the comments said that Kevin Samuels has a net worth of $1.6 million. And my thing is why does he stop his lives to get donations? We don't have to give him anything, especially if YouTube pays him. And even in that money that he gets from them donations should be drops in a bucket, right? If he's a millionaire, he doesn't need our funds. Again, we don't have to pay him for anything. His time, nothing. He chooses to get on there, you know? But my question is Kevin Samuels, when are you going to start focusing on a solution? Because I saw a clip from a roommate's podcast interview that he did. And he spoke about the weight problem. And Kevin Samuels said, how do we get back on track? And he didn't have any real questions he didn't really have any real answers for his question. Because Kevin Samuels has no real solution. He just wants to profit off of the problem.
We're pushing this no standard, no nothing. And you can do that. But at the end of the day, men are the consumers and men aren't buying it. Yeah. Because see, here's the thing. You can be an average, acute looking woman. And years ago, you could have got a man, a husband. But now when you are trying to put on someone else's hair, put on some, even if you don't do that, but just the weight is doing a lot, man. I can't say in the black community the weight is doing a lot because I have women who are calling in who don't even realize that it's an issue. I had a woman call in the other day and I said, ma'am, at your height and your weight, I mean, no offense, ma'am, but you're the size of a middle linebacker. And she said, no, I'm not. I'm like, and I went and pulled up Lawrence Taylor, NFL great. I'm like, and I was like, he's 4 inches taller than you. She was shocked. So how do we get this back on track? Well, when 4 out of 5 of our sisters are overweight and no one can tell you nothing, I don't know who can get through to them. We have to start having women be honest with each other. Because when you're raised in our culture, mom leaves the house. So they may hear it from me, but until women start actually having, let's just use it, thoughtful, respectful conversations about, hey, we need to probably do this for our own health, for men or whatever, because men don't care why you do it. We just want it there. Because here's the thing. Men can't turn off and on their provider. If a man falls on hard times, stop producing, we can judge him. And if a man's not masculine, we can judge him. Well, we got to have that standard back up for men and women. And the question is, are people really willing to do it? And I honestly have more faith that they are than not.
So as you can see in that video clip, Kevin Samuels says, I don't know how to get through to them with them being black women because 4 out of 5 black women are overweight and obese. And so that's where the defeatist type attitude comes into place. That's where the lack of being solution focused comes into place. And my thing is if Kevin Samuels sees that black women are obese and overweight more than any other group in the world, my thing is what is he going to do about it? Is he going to continue to sit behind a microphone and a camera and talk about this issue? Or is he going to work to be a change agent and trying to help his fellow black women? What I don't understand is why other communities can come together to fix their social problems, but we can't do the same. We focus so much on our problems that we're not doing enough in many cases to progress and become better. You don't keep telling me about the issues that I have as a black woman. You don't keep talking to me or any other black women about our issues without trying to change it. Then that's where the whole idea of him hustling the black community comes into play. Where it's like, let me profit off of their pain and their issues. You're not helping us. This is a bit of a white flag type question. Like, what can you do to help us, Kevin Samuels? What can you do? We're struggling. Something is not right. There's a disconnect somewhere. Your black women are struggling. So you're just going to sit here and bash us? Do you think that's effective? And you making money off it? I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to acknowledge the fact that black people are genetically and physically designed much differently than most groups out here. Okay? We have big noses, big feet, big hands, big butts. A lot of our features are different. So yes, you're going to have black women that, are thicker and fuller in a lot of cases. But with the black community, and I want you to remember that 49.6% of the black community is obese and overweight. You have black people that are living in low income areas, and it's a great number of black people that are living in low income areas that are not educated on proper nutrition and exercise. Because they lack that knowledge, they are living an unhealthy and unfit life. So yes, when you break it all down, yes, you will have 4 out of 5 black women that are overweight and obese, that contribute to the nearly 50% of the black community that is out of shape. Now, I will say, for black women, we do have some issues in regards to living an absolutely healthy life, okay? There are some women that work out, some black women that work out. We're not going to deny these women out here running track, playing basketball, playing soccer, doing CrossFit, doing weightlifting. We're not going to knock those women, because those women are out there, baby. I'm one of them. But let me tell you something. We do have black women that choose not to live a healthy life. Y'all, what's the issue? It's the lack of motivation. It's the mentality. It's the hair. It's the resources and the knowledge. And I'm not bashing or tearing down my black women at all, but this is the issues that we realistically have to deal with. I know that Kevin Samuels spoke about, black women talking within their own sector to help each other. And I will say that makes sense, but what does not help to facilitate that is when black men make fun of our pain or our issues that we're having. You understand? It's just like a group that's talking to fix a problem, right? Say that that's happening. And you have people on the outside that are bashing you, yelling at you, like, you can't get right. You can't do this. Wow. What a kill to the self-esteem. You gotta understand. And looking at us, we need help. And there's no other way to put it. I remember that Kevin Samuels said that he did cycling or spinning, if I'm not mistaken. And I will give it to him. He is definitely in shape. Okay? But in him talking about the problem, he can be a part of the solution if he pulls a group of black men together and helps out the black women in his own community. Okay? Do something with your talents and your tools instead of just letting them sit and doing nothing. There are some black male fitness influencers out here that are indirectly helping black women. Like, they're not saying, hey, black women are out of shape, so let me help. They're bringing classes, or they're doing virtual classes right now of men and women, and there's a lot of black women in that class that are trying to get fit, okay? For instance, I'm going to talk about one person, the Gifted One, and I follow him on Instagram, and his classes are phenomenal. He's so motivated and gung-ho. It's great. I love it. And there are black women that are in his classes that are really getting it in. And they're losing 20, 30 pounds just following his program. That's the motivation and the push that black women need. We don't need to hear any more about the statistics. Are you going to put in the work to help us? Because that's what other communities do. They don't let their people fall by the wayside. So why are we like, you need to take accountability and you need to do this? It's called giving a helping hand. I know for me as a black woman, I work out. And, and looking at the comments and stuff like that, I don't have people call me a fat baby mama and I'm alone and I'm angry and I probably done called in and been shut down. And I laugh at it because nobody knows me on here. Y'all don't know me. But again, I do work out and I lift weights. That's my passion and it's a lifestyle for me. And I do it at least 4 times a week. That is where my discipline comes from. That's where it's been developed. Like, I grind when I get in the gym. I have goals. I have objectives. When it comes to my leg press, my deadlifts, how I want my biceps to look like. I have, goals for my back and working my glutes and my quads and my hamstrings. I live for that, guys. But see, everybody doesn't have that mentality. Everybody doesn't understand that your body is your temple. I live for people like C.T. Fletcher, Kai Green, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mike O'Hara, Daley Lynn Bailey, Phil Heath, Ulysses, Simeon Panda. Like, I can go on and on about the people that I live for, and I see them and I study them and I seek to understand what makes them tick, because I want to tick the same way. But again, everybody's not going to have that same mentality, y'all. Like, when people start to understand that you have to live for something, there's something that you have to be living for, they're starting to change their mindset. When we create a better movement, when we strengthen our own black community, things will get better for us. So with all of these things, like, when are we going to take that great shift so we can overcome the statistics and the problem that we have, so women don't have to be overcompensating for the lack of something, or they have to be cooperative because their numbers are disproportionate, So I hope that the message is getting through that Kevin Samuels needs to stop coming down on us and start uplifting us and start helping us to live a greater and a better life. Strengthen the community. Don't hurt the community. Help us. Don't hurt us. Kevin Samuels can fall in line with the Gifted One, the black male influencer I just talked about. He can fall right in line with him. Kevin Samuels, start a movement. Get your cycling or spinning, whatever he does. Get that back up. Host classes for black women. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't tell us that our numbers are off and you ain't doing nothing about it. Oh, she's 175, 5'2". You're done for. I don't want to hear it. You're 42 years old? Oh my God, that makes it even worse. But you did nothing. So people cheer for that raw and authentic advice, but nothing's being done about it. And I do also want to say this, and this goes to my black men. I want y'all to think about the fact that when Kevin Samuels downs black women for their appearance and attitude, I want you to think about the fact that he's talking about your mother. He's talking about your grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, not your uncle, your daughter, your cousin, all of that. He's talking about the women in your life. You may not think so because you love these people so much, but if 4 out of 5 black women are overweight and obese, that includes your family too. So when you become this cheerleader for Kevin Samuels, like, yeah, he's talking about these black women and their attitude and they overweight and they fat and they nasty. That does not exempt your family or your people at all. So you're cheering for the ones that are closest to you. You might go home and love your mom and care about your auntie and just adore your daughter. But he's talking about the very women that are in your life. What are you going to do about that? You going to continue to cheer for him? I want y'all to think about that. You know? Y'all remember that song, Keep Your Head Up by Tupac? Where he asks the question among his lyrics. He says, basically, why do we hate our women? Think about it. Why do we hate our women? Because they're not fit and in shape? Again, I ask the question, how are we going to fix that? White flag question. And I've said this before, yo. We can't sit here and hate black women and then turn around and then ask them for the nasty and ask us to be in relationships. Or maybe even fantasize about these women when we're really with a different type of women. Because I'm going to be honest with you. There's some men that want an in-shape woman and then they get it, but they really want a fuller type woman. Oh, trust me, it's happening. They want it, baby. But they're afraid to say it. They can't be honest with themselves because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of their homeboys. And what I want to say real quick to my women, in particular my black women, yes, it's important to work out for health reasons. It's greater than being in a relationship with a man to make him satisfied and keep him happy, but you have to think about yourself and the fact that you're living for you and so many other things. I live a lifestyle with fitness that has changed my life. Like, if I had never lift weights, I don't know where I would be a lot of times. That has kept me focused. I live for it, you know, and together with the nutrition, it makes everything work. So yes, make sure that you build a mentality to work out. You have to motivate yourself. It may not be from within. It may not be verbally. You can get a YouTube channel that you listen to. You can get music that you listen to. You can get pictures, develop a vision board to help you get on the right track in order to motivate you. I will say when it comes to hair, when I was growing up, I always knew that like black women, hair and exercise did not mix. Like, that's what I knew when I was younger. And I would say to myself, like, I don't get it. Like, why can't you just, make it work? And, different products would come out to try to, secure the hairstyle. You would have some black women that would say, I don't want to work out because I don't want to sweat out my hairstyle. But, as time has went on, please know this, that problem has lessened, but it's still there. So all you can do is tie up your dreads, braids, wigs, weaves, ponytails, afros, whatever it may be, and you get your grind on. You know what I'm saying? It's like health over hair at this point. When it comes to knowledge and resources in the black community for nutrition and exercise, it's not a lot of education there. Okay. And no, there are not enough people that do not understand the concept of eating properly and exercising regularly so that you can have longevity and a healthy life. Okay. I will say for black people, many of us have grown up on soul food and other unhealthy foods. Okay. We have to really admit that. And then we go into our adulthood eating that same way. And then it hurts us in some sense when we have diabetes or heart disease as a result, or it may be too late and we succumb to what we've consumed or failed to do. So, there is some black people that change their lifestyle and they catch on and they say, hey, I'm going to go vegan. I'm going to be a vegetarian. They watch the meats that they eat. They monitor the carbohydrates that they consume. They consume more vegetables and fruits and opposed to the snacks, and they look at the fats and the oils that they take in. They develop a lifestyle for being physically active where they get into sports or CrossFit, weightlifting, bodybuilding, running, so many other physical activities. And I think that's commendable. And again, like I stated earlier, we have to acknowledge Black women that actually get into physical activities. So my thing is, when it comes to Kevin Samuels, he is focused on the problem that Black women have and opposed to the solution. And I'm telling you right now, somebody is going to misconstrue everything I said. Somebody is going to miss the entire point of this video. And I'm going to summarize and reiterate some things that I have said. Kevin Samuels is profiting off of the pain, statistics, and issues of Black women by giving these harsh truths that are not viable solutions. He is not a certified helping professional at all. So he does not understand the concept of taking a problem, becoming a change agent, and finding a solution. He lives within his own Black community like other Black people live within their own Black community. He cannot escape that. He is selling a dream to some men that are not even near high value and telling them you don't need to be with a single mother. You don't need to be with a Black woman because she's out of shape. Listen, Black woman, your numbers are disproportionate, so there's no hope for you. So Kevin Samuels becomes a part of the problem by talking about the problem. He has tools and talents in order to create a movement in the Black community, in order to help Black women become healthy and stay on track and help us to exercise. But he is failing to do that because there's money for him in our pain. Guys, tell me your thoughts and how you feel. Please get down in the comments. All right, you guys take care.